Fox Sports app. Kevin Durant and the Nets have won 8 of their last 9 games. They're now 17-12 on the season, sitting half a game back of the Cavs for the 3 seed in the East. Next up for them, the Toronto Raptors. All right, Shannon, are the Nets contenders or pretenders?
Pretenders. They're not beating the Bucks. Celtics, not sure they can beat the Celtics. The Sixers, healthy Joel Embiid and James Harden.
Yep.
Maxey is going to come back at some point in time. They're beating up on the weak teams. Of those 8 wins that's come since November 27th, only one has come against the team with currently a winning record. That was the Trailblazers without Damian Lillard.
Yep.
Like you told me about the Lakers, they beat the team, but they beat my Spurs 3 times. You beat the Magic, the Wizards, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Hawks, the Pacers, and you beat the Wizards again on Monday night. You good with that?
Well,
No.
I'm good that they actually started winning
It- it-
games because for a while it looked like they weren't even going to make the playoffs.
You're 28th in rebound per game. You're 27th in rebound differential, 25th in offensive rebounds. Opponent's offensive rebound, you're 29th in opponent's three-point shooting, which is a recipe to get what? Get the doors blown off you when you get to the playoffs. Because the Bucks are a very good rebounding team. And the Celtics, we just saw them last night. So you're the pretenders because you got no chance of beating those 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. So pretenders.
I view the Nets the way I view your Lakers.
Okay.
I look at it and at a glance, I say, wait a second. I see contender written all over this because Kevin Durant has been on a tear,
He's averaging
albeit
30.
against bad teams, but he's been averaging 32 over the last 6-7 games. And there is this guy named Kyrie,
Yep.
and he is back, and he's eligible to play.
Spectacular
and he's
as ever.
spectacular as ever. And you're not a Ben Simmons fan. I am. But on a nightly basis, he'll chip in with 10 and 8 and 5, maybe 12, who knows, somewhere in that ballpark. And he will play some defense. And then I start looking down the list of the rest of your depth. You got shooters everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, listen, TJ Warren is back in the saddle.
Yeah.
And I've always admired his game because he can
he can score
flat
now.
out
He gonna get
score the
buckets now.
basketball, and he looks sweet doing it. He's in rhythm.
You remember in
Got
the
him.
bubble scale, he's dropping 50 on
He's
folks.
dropping 50. And he's starting to come alive like he could be the 4th star, actually. And then I've always liked Seth Curry because he's a clutch shooter that you can trust. Patty Mills is on the downside age-wise, but you can trust him to make big shots in big moments. And Joe Harris, I know he comes and goes, but he has been the best three-point shooter in this league for 2 different seasons. He led the league in three-point shooting and won the three-point shootout. So he's a sniper, man. And then that Cam Thomas, you want to talk about a kid who can shoot the lights out? Durant just loves him.
Yeah.
So I just named all those, they're shooters that Sumner's been starting for them occasionally, and he's a basketball player. And Watanabe comes off the bench, he gives them big minutes.
He's leading the league in three-point shooting.
And yet it comes down to Royce O'Neal plays some defense for him, makes some big plays for him. It's Nicky Claxton or bust in the middle of the defense, and it's like he's just not big and strong enough.
He's just too light in the back end, Skip. He ain't got no bricks in his back pocket. Because you go up against Giannis, Giannis is dislodging everybody.
Yep.
And he got 0 chance against Joel Embiid, Skip. He has 0 chance against Embiid.
Yeah, he's averaging 12 and 9, which is fine,
good.
but it's not when you play those guys.
And then the Celtics, and you mentioned, they're going to get Al Horford back. They're going to get Robert Williams back.
Yep.
Now, those are your defensive anchors. Now, they're a good rebounding team, and they don't have those 2 bigs in there.
Yep.
So when you get those 2 bigs back, and you get guys, because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they're all-stars. They're going to the all-star game, so we know that. But, Skip, I just don't see them on a 7-game series. I don't see them beating the Bucks with that small team. They don't really play defense. I know you say they play a little defense. They don't rebound the ball enough.
No, and yet last night I watched Giannis against Golden State, and he destroyed Golden State, and he couldn't buy a shot.
None.
I'm talking about a jump shot from anywhere.
He was 9 of 26.
He was an abomination from mid-range and long range, and he got 30 and destroyed him because they couldn't keep him from the basket.
No.
And Golden State's weird. When they go on the road, nobody plays defense.
No.
Like, we'll save it for home, but we won't play.
And that's their problem. That's why they can't win on the road, because they give up 114 points every game, at least 114. You're not going to win a whole lot of games on the road. You keep giving up 114.
Okay. So before the year started, I picked the Sixers just because I think Embiid's the all-time monster I've seen this side of Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, he got 53 the other night?
Yeah, he's extraordinary. And when they get Maxey back, I think they're going to be a factor.
Right.
Are they going to be better than Milwaukee or Boston? I don't know. But I'm sticking with the Sixers. But I didn't pick the Nets, but they have dark horse written all over them because they still have so much all-time talent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all-time, where if on a given night they all start to click and fire and connect, you better be careful.
And that's the thing. You look at KD's numbers, you look at Kyrie's numbers, they're exceptional. And you're like, well, damn, why are they like this? Well, obviously Kyrie missed the time.
He did.
But I just think the thing is, Skip, they don't rebound the ball well enough. And when you don't rebound the ball well enough, that means the other team's getting offensive rebounds, which keeps giving them second cracks at you, third cracks at you.
All right. Is the fourth place team a contender? Because if it is, then they're a contender to me because they're going to be the fourth best team because I think they're a little better than Cleveland is. So they're going to rise up.
That'd be a good matchup. That'd be a really good matchup. That'd be a really good matchup. Those guards with Allen and Evan Mobley.
I got it. But in the end, the Nets are all about happiness. And how happy are they going to be? I never know. I don't know what's going to go on with them.
So who do you got? I like the Bucks. I think it's going to be the Bucks and the Celtics, Skip.
I'm still with the Sixers.
To beat the Bucks and the Celtics?
I do. I'm going with it. I picked it before the year, and I'm going to stick with it because of the Embiid factor.
What about the Giannis factor?
Well, I'll take Embiid over Giannis. I will.
Take it where?
Take him to the top.
I mean, what? You want somebody to hang out with?
To the finals.
That's where
I'll take him.
I would take Joel also because he's funny. He gonna play some video games. He gonna make you laugh. But you talking about on the basketball court? No, can't do.
One guy can shoot and the other guy can't.
And you saw the guy that got the table. I got the chair. I'm about to put the chair right at the table, the superstar table. You saw it last night.
I did not see it at Golden State, and I did not see it against the Clippers.
But what did you?
I love the spirit,
what did your eyes
guys,
tell you
but
last
we gotta
night?
go.
He's really good.
We gotta go. We'll see how the Nets fare against those Toronto Raptors. Coming up, how is Baker Mayfield going to look in Green Bay against Aaron Rodgers?
Question.
That's
Very
next
good.
Here, 11-16 on the season after that OT loss to the Celtics last night. Anthony Davis has been averaging nearly 34 points and over 11 boards in the month of December. LeBron, meanwhile, averaging 28 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists this season. Russell Westbrook, the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Shannon, if they're doing so well, how is this team 11-16?
Because of games last night. I think Bill Plaschke, who writes for the LA Times, I think it's the Times, he says in a 122 overtime loss to the league best Celtics, the Lakers showed they're undisciplined enough to get blown out, talented enough to storm back, but shallow enough they can't finish. That's it. You look at that, I mean, they got off to a rocky start, trying to find out who they are, what lineups would work. Russ started the first 3 games. That was horrible. Got some life. He moved to to coming off the bench, the first guy off the bench, and he showed great signs. AD got nicked. LeBron missed a couple of games. So since they've been back together, they've shown. You look at, like I said, AD's playing at an MVP level, averaging 28-12. LeBron is 26-9. Russ is playing really well, as you mentioned. He's favored to win Sixth Man of the Year. But Skip,
Isn't it like runaway now? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can't
even close.
I can't think of anybody that's as a sixth man that's playing any better than him.
Who comes off the bench and goes 20-14? Go ahead.
You're right, but Skip, they still are a player away. I just don't believe because they were minus 33 from the three-point line. Skip, that's the difference in the ball games now. You got to be able to shoot, and the Lakers can't shoot. Yeah, LeBron's going to give you his numbers. AD can give you his numbers, and Russ can come in and chip in, and he can give you 20 from time to time. He's a guy that's going to give you, he can give you 11, 12, 13 assists. He can give you 12, 13 rebounds. He can give you 20 points. But they need a shooter, Skip, because their big three played as well as they could possibly play. And you still lose the ball game because, as Plaschke said, they're undisciplined defensive-wise. They lose their assignment. They run around, leave guys wide open for shoot-around threes. They give up layups. It's just, they just can't get it. They just got to fight. And Pat Bev last night, Skip, what was that? Did you see those 2 layups? I guarantee you, I hadn't had a basketball in my hand but once in maybe 30 years. I can make those shots. I can make those layups. I ain't said I can shoot no threes. I ain't gonna shoot no 12-footer. Maybe I'm gonna clank free throws like Benoit.